there's a little bit of a delay on there, but
And
hey everyone, I am
there's
Ben
a little bit of
and
a
I
delay
am
on
with
there,
my
but
good buddy
ready to
Hey
go?
everyone, Madonna. This is PeakD&D live streaming. If you found the channel, you have made it, adventurer.
We're trying.
Welcome to our live stream. If you're catching it on the replay, you know that's just as good. Half XP for you. Otherwise,
You missed
we're
the
gonna
session, so half XP for you.
yeah, you know. You missed the live session. So yeah, that's a fair rule, I think,
Yeah, it's a
for
good
most
house rule.
dungeon masters out there, live streamer dungeon masters out there.
Ooh.
And yeah, we're gonna this is our live stream show we do every couple weeks where we recap on the gameplay. If you're keeping up with our Beyond the Feywild campaign.
Ooh, baby.
Oh man, we're wrapping up. We just released episode 66, and there's only 2 more episodes left before the end of this campaign, and they should come out. But that'll get us into September, well into September. It is September now.
So technically the end of
Yeah.
September, right? So it would be next week will be 67, the penultimate, and then the 24th, which is technically the last Saturday, I believe, if I'm doing 30 and 31 days correctly.
Yes.
The last Saturday of September will be our finale. So and then
Finale.
we're going to be going to
Beyond
LayerCon, so we might take like 2 weeks off as far as content's concerned. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but then we'll be in LayerCon the following weekend, the 6th or the 8th, which will be great.
Yep. Once our filming schedule sort of we figure it out, and based on the release schedule, we'll know how LayerCon's going to impact that. But we'll be in Florida for a few days.
Yeah.
In Pensacola hanging out with our good buddy Luke Hart of the DM Lair.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed to Luke, I mean, you're in the minority of D&D folks at this point.
Yeah, I would agree.
So yeah, definitely check him out. We always try to plug him on the live stream as well. If you don't know who Luke Hart is, I mean, you really should watch his stuff. It's amazing. And he has awesome advice for dungeon masters. He has some Kickstarters that you should get in on, some modules and stuff that he and his team have written.
Yep.
And it's just super, super fun. We aspire to his level at some point. We are just barely on the cusp of being level 3 YouTubers. Right
just
there.
Give us a goblin to kill. Just give us one.
Just give us
one
a
goblin.
Den of goblins. We'll clear them out. It'll be great. I love everything about it. And yeah, so we're that's sort of who we are, and we thank you if you're checking this out either on the replay or you're here live with us, which someone is. That's exciting.
Someone
is. Say hi in the chat if you want, and we'll get up on we'll relay your questions and do whatever. We're just gonna sit and talk for about an hour. We got a whole hour. Yeah, we'll talk about Frisky Dingo and all that.
We always talk about Frisky Dingo.
I mean, it always comes up inevitably. And in our next collaboration sketch with Luke, there's some very not so subtle nods to Frisky Dingo as well. Some of those lines that Tony ends up throwing in there.
That is very true.
Yeah, and that's another thing we could talk about too is our latest collaborative video with the DM Lair. We talked about Luke Hart.
Right?
Yeah, just came out on Tuesday. So it's Saturday now.
I mean, surprisingly, at least on our channel, it was the most watched sketch. So thank you.
I mean, they have improved each time for performance for us, and I know that they don't do so hot on Luke's channel compared to like when he releases a Dungeon Master video. Yeah, but I mean, hey, for us, it's a blast. We love doing it. We love hanging out with Luke. We love. I just like being able to collaborate and write some funny skits on the internet. That was my dream when we started this whole thing. It's like I just want to make funny things on the internet. That's what I want to do.
No, I mean, and we some awesome characters development has come out of it because of Cletus von Boulette is kind of like a staple now. The rules lawyer is kind of like a staple now.
T. Barnabas Jones. Also a Frisky Dingo reference.
This is
and which is actually a 70s TV reference, but whatever.
It's a reference of a reference. It's a reference of a reference.
It's so deep in the meta now. We're like,
hey, Matt G is here.
Oh, what's up, Matt?
What's happening,
Thanks for
Matt?
saying hey. Thanks for checking us out.
Well, in that regard, if you're here, Matt, hopefully you are caught up with Beyond the Feywild. If not, then spoiler alert.
For episode 66.
But
Thwarted by the Threshold.
Yes, and also a barbarian half class for Gord.
Yeah. took about a half class in Barbarian there. You just let it out, man. Rage cage.
That was I had so much fun at that session. Like, looking back, we probably could have kept the dragon to help us out. Because we let the dragon go, and we didn't know how long Max could control it. So I think that was the correct play in game.
Yes.
Looking back,
really
we could probably have had him like maybe do like a dragon punch once before we let him go.
Dragon punch.
Or I don't know, the breath weapon or something of the matter to do some damage to this door. But instead, you just had Gord like, oh, I got this. Whack, nothing happens. Whack, nothing happens. Whack, oh snap. The carrot hammer has been destroyed.
And that cold iron
R.I.P.
+1 carrot hammer was pretty dope. It was a cool custom weapon that Nick sort of came up with, and I sort of designed it based on how we were talking about. Because I think this was in one of the Into the Fae shopping episodes where I was like, "Can you make it look like a hammer or a carrot?"
Yeah,
and I was like, and
because we were getting cold weapons for Fae creatures, so we all had something to do extra damage with Fae creatures, and then you were like, "Hey, Gord, what if it was shaped like a carrot?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" You blew Gord's mind.
It was because you had that big Feywild carrot for a while that you like slung across your back. So I was like, "What if that was turned into a weapon?" And then
you made the mini, like the mini one that
and then
holds.
I modified your mini that we had gotten. We made those on Hero Forge and got them printed, and I painted them. No, I printed them too, because if you don't know, I'm the hobbyist of the group. I paint the minis, I do all of that, like I do the terrain and all the stuff that you see on our show. It's either some of it's purchased and some of it's printed and made, but I got into 3D printing a few years back, and so I make now I have a resin printer, and I've been printing our minis from designing them on Hero Forge, and I'm starting to get into designing my own minis, which is very exciting.
Oh, nice.
But I designed the carrot hammer in 3D software.
Oh, okay.
And then I printed out like a bunch of them because I was like, I don't know if it's going to work. And sure enough. And then I cut off your old like round hammer, and I attached the carrot hammer itself. But it was it's I don't know if we have any pictures of the minis. We should take some pictures of those minis. And
we should. To be fair, I think we have the pieces of it. So in theory, Gord has resurrected the carrot hammer in his goings on after the end of this campaign. But,
I think we're going to commission beyond this, beyond the Feywild. We're going to commission you a new, better carrot hammer.
That's true. That's
going to
version
happen.
1.0. So now I'm going to. Oh yeah,
2.0 like we're going to go on maybe Helm will send you on a paladin's quest, and you will find a holy weapon carrot hammer avenger.
Through the end of this, which is still up in the air.
It is very much up in the air. It was up until the final moments. I wasn't sure if we would live or not, and no spoilers. I mean, maybe there's some. It'll continue in some fashion after this campaign, but not with these characters. And we'll,
Oh, hey, John Strain is live now. Usually I find you on replays. Yeah, we tried to do coffee like morning Saturdays. But we were all kind of busy and schedules didn't sync up the way we thought they would this week. So here we are at 2:30, at least putting something out on a Saturday, because that's our shtick, is to at least get something out on Saturday. So I'm glad me and Ben were able to make this happen.
Yeah, no, I enjoy talking about our campaigns and all of our stuff on YouTube. So if I just like talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Dude, that's what we decided to do with the live stream was just, hey, let's sit and talk about Dungeons and Dragons for a little bit.
But yeah, I think right after the carrot hammer hit though, so Gord just like went into blind rage. Like if paladins could rage, that's what Gord did, and just was like, I'm gonna kill this door. I don't care what happens.
Yeah,
it was hilarious. I loved playing that session. It was
amazing.
It hurt my heart a lot, but I loved playing that session.
If we were to continue beyond the ending point, which is fast approaching, if you haven't caught up, like do it in the next couple weeks. This month, you got to catch up. So you can check out the finale when it drops at the end of September, the last Saturday in September.
The 24th will be the finale.
24th, yeah. That's the finale. So if you haven't caught up, but we're talking about, this is the
66.
second to last episode, 66.
We are at the doorstep of the end game.
To the Mythal's Tower, and we are about to try to stop Lionel Lysanthier, my character's father, for the last time. Like, this is it.
Last time. I think, too, as far as editing goes, I was pretty excited because I found through all the PeakD&D music that you downloaded, like Monument Studios and stuff. Like, I don't know, I think you've watched the edited version, but I found the harp music. That when Nick was like, and you hear harp music when we stepped into the door.
And it comes in. Oh, Tony, I loved it. And
I was like,
Chills.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. And then I left it like go through the end. Because usually I have like our end credits, which is pretty meh right now, but it's still an end screen, essentially. I had it go through like alleviate after we're done talking with the harp music and just let it linger there for a little bit. So I was pretty stoked about that. I'm trying to do a lot of background music and fix, help the ambiance a little bit when you're watching. And I don't know if it comes through super loud. I know on my headphones, like when I edit, I hear it all and hear all the intricacies, but I don't know on some speakers you might not be able to hear. So if you have good headphones, tune in with some music because I do try to piece together like ambiance for wherever we are.
Yeah.
So the next one I just edited and I have like the harp music kind of in the background the whole time.
Yeah. That's super awesome. Tony has really you've taken this and ran with it, man. It was
trying.
And amazingly so. It was getting to a point where I started, so when we first started doing Into the Fae, when we started, a year ago.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago.
Year and a half.
Holy moly. I was doing the editing on the gameplay and we were piecing it together. We were recording each camera separate.
Yeah,
we didn't have our current setup, which is much better.
Dude,
and
alleviates so much early work.
It takes a lot out of it. So basically all of what I was doing has been eliminated by machines. So that's good.
Matching audio and 4 different video sources if you count the battle cam.
Yeah. And trying to piece that together and so now we have like an audio mixer where everyone's mic goes into one audio feed that we record.
Yep.
And all the cameras go into a super source camera overlay, and I make the custom the screens and stuff, and then so it just records. Like we just record and it's all set up. What it doesn't allow us to do is change the angles, like to
not quite,
to like highlight Nick when he's monologuing, or so it's sort of more of a live stream type setup, I would say. We just don't do a lot of switching.
We just don't technically do live. It's not technically live, but we keep the ambiance of like we're not editing too much out unless we're like setting up an entire map, and it takes like 15 minutes. It certainly does happen, but
it sounds like
it's raw. It's raw footage. We don't cut much, so
we add in. Well, you do all the green screen work because we film in front of green screens.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys probably figured that out if you're watching. But yeah,
so good job though as far as masking it.
I thought of my backup plan, Tony, today was if it was just me, like trying to figure out live streaming by myself.
Yeah,
I was just going to go over to the studio, which is just down the street from where I am now my office.
Yep.
And I was going to like show people around in the studio.
That would be
I think that would be a fun thing to do. Oh, my light went out. There it is. I think that would be a fun one to do. I think people would maybe like to see our studio. I'd like to have it documented at least for a little while longer. They're in the midst of installing a new sprinkler system in our studio. So that was sort of why I was like, yeah, no, we can film on Monday. That we got to move. They need to do the table side of the room, so we just need to move it at the end of the day, or the day after, or whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
Because they're not coming to do that till next week.
Gotcha.
So we film, for those of you watching this, we film on Mondays generally, and so we do like a session or two of gameplay on a Monday, or if we're filming a sketch or whatever. So we try to do that once a week to stay consistent, because Mondays are generally Nick and my day off.
Yep.
Unless things are going crazy. We both work at a theater company, so we have a production going on. Anyway, this is all background information that nobody cares about. So we film on Mondays, but they're installing these new sprinkler systems in the building that we're in, and they're doing our studio right now. So they're like, we can film, and then they're coming back, I think, Wednesday. So we have a couple days to get everything situated, and it shouldn't be a problem by the next time we need to film. So
yeah. I would be curious though. So John is saying that now he's got us live. I think he has internet issues, but it's cool that you're here, John. But you said Into the Fae you've been watching. I'm curious how far into it you are. Let us know in the comments. But maybe the afternoons are a better situation. I don't know if that works out for us, but it seems like a couple people that are here are like in the later start. So something to think about.
I don't know. Seems like a different there's not too many people watching our live streams, but whatever. That's fine. We appreciate y'all for being here when you are here. So we're
so yeah, I mean,
I think it would be fun. I mean, let us know. I guess leave a comment or write it in the chat if you're here live.
Yeah.
If you'd like to see the studio set up and see all the minis and shit that we have back there, and I think it would be kind of fun.
That could be pretty cool. I would agree.
I almost made it over there, but it was right before we were supposed to stream, and I was like, I gotta get set up.
Yeah.
So I was gonna stream from the studio, but then I was like, I'm here at my office.
Matt G's for the studio tour, so maybe we'll put that on the list for.
Yeah, we could make that. I don't know if that's a live video or maybe we just film that and.
That could be good. That could be, a little short or something like that.
Maybe not a short, but I don't know, a short form video. But maybe it's a few, because it would take a few minutes to go through the studio.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it wouldn't take too long.
And we did spend some time cleaning it in between our campaigns.
Yeah, we switched
most recent.
We did some feng shui to switch the energies for our new characters.
Yeah, because I was like, if I'm sitting in the same place in the room that Jastian sat, when I was like, it's gonna feel weird. I'm at the same spot at the table, but I was like, I want to move the room around. It's a new campaign. It's a new
I think it's helped the flow too of the room in general, which has been nice.
I think so too. I think it's a better
way.
Setup.
Yeah, I think so.
And we've still got the D&D ideas set there.
Yep.
Although I did think about putting that up against we could flip that set and put it back to back with the table if we wanted. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That could work.
But that would be fun.
So yeah, I mean, that was pretty much episode 66 was everybody wailing on the door and getting to the doorstep of what is going to be the final showdown with Lionel Alexander for the end of Beyond the Fae, which will come out the 24th.
And some of you eagle-eyed viewers might be able to spot the miniature set that we used in our for this finale campaign. I built a custom tower thing, and it's on the set now for D&D ideas. So if you haven't checked out our most recent D&D ideas about the 7 player types and the puppies, there's a little Easter egg in there. It was actually, I think it also appeared in one of our live streams. Yeah, that one, I don't know. YouTube liked that one for some reason.
So, I do think part of it might have been the whole 7, the number of types of something. You know,
it was a
not a count
different
down, but it's a count something. So maybe that had something to do with it.
It was a different type of title than we normally do.
Yep.
And the thumbnail was a little different. So I think I don't know.
And everybody loves puppies. So
who doesn't love pictures of dogs? The internet's for dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats.
And pets. Dungeons and Dragons.
And dragons. Yeah. Also pets. Yeah. Well, we had it for a minute. We still might have it. We're not sure.
Dungeons and Dragons and pets?
Oh my.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a pet dragon. And then we let it
We
go.
did. Yeah. And it was under our control. I don't know if it was ever our pet. But you know what? I'm really pleased, and going back to the episode, I think Gord, you had this precognitive moment of just I'm going to ride that dragon.
Oh yeah.
And it came true. Nick in his way, in his immaculate wisdom, was like, you know what? I think that would be cool. And he let us do it. We found a way, man.
I mean, dice tell the best stories, right? And we were in a heap of trouble, and Max
and that dragon
shadow control, and he didn't even think about the dragon. The dragon rolled a 1 for his save, so he took the dragon and ran. Man, oh man, and it was so great. But we're again, I don't know.
I think once we do we're planning a live stream after the finale is released. I think I don't know that if we can do it at LaireCon. I don't know, but maybe we can. Or shortly after that.
It could be the first, I think, or the one after October 1st.
Oh, maybe we do one right before we leave.
Yeah,
for LaireCon.
That could be something.
Because I'd like to do a campaign. I'd like to do a campaign wrap up and just ask all my questions.
Oh, I know. We have so many questions for Nick that we have saved. We don't even know the answers to some of these.
Yeah.
We saved for a live stream. So
it would be very, very cool. And I'm sort of like, I want to know how long that dragon would have stayed with us.
Yes.
Like, would
that
he
is,
have
that is one question I have
been there the whole time, or like was it a matter of rounds if we didn't make a decision?
I'm kind of curious about the whole the stone that Ellensworth is dragging around to,
Mm-hmm.
and how much color, like what are the consequences if you give up too much to the darks, to the whatever stone.
So
he had, the shard stone.
Yeah, the charred.
And I know I can't remember what Max has, but Max has a bunch of questions that he wants to ask as far as like, what if we did this? Because we have had a lot of choices, and I think
Max is definitely like an Infinity Stone, like Doctor Strange. I want to see all the different realities that could have happened. Like, yeah, and I think he has always been that kind of player. He's like, what if, even in our home game that is not on the internet, but when we were doing Tyranny of Dragons, you know, every week Max would ask, hey, what would have happened if we had done this? Or what would have happened if we did that? And it's like, dude, I don't know. Like, that didn't happen, so I don't really know. I think I probably would have done something like this.
Yeah,
like when when y'all flooded the only places in the city of 10,000 pearls.
That's when we started questioning if we were the bad guys.
Yeah. So this is a home game story.
That was a little murder hobo-y of us.
It was a little bit, but granted, you were level 17, and you guys were jumping planes every other gaming session.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And you basically had a bunch of fetch missions to get a bunch of weapons that you needed to defeat Tiamat. And that's not in the module. I just added all that stuff because we wanted to do a level 20 battle. So I had to get them to level 20. So I created all these other side missions that they had to do. High level stuff, like level 17, 18, 19. To get them to level 20, I had to run a lot of different like other side missions that were not in the book at all, not in Rise of Tiamat at all. But I came up with these relics of Bahamut that they would get that were based on all the different metallic dragons. And there was anyway, so they had to go and get this crown. It was a crown for the wizard, I think. And it was in the plane of water in the middle, and it was guarded by a Leviathan. So this is the kind of stuff, like world-ending creatures that they're fighting at this point.
Yep.
And it was, oh man, it was wild. But so the city of 10,000 pearls, which is sort of like the big city locale on the plane of water. It's a whole world, it's a plane, but it's a plane of existence. So the plane of water in the city, there's air there in the city that they sort of like in Star Wars, that Gungan city, with like the little air bubbles. It's like that.
It's like that's kind of what I had pictured.
Yeah, very much like that. And it was run by this married guy that I named Christopher Swimmin, and he talked like Christopher Walken. I don't know why, just because it was funny. And anyway, so at some point there was like this magic crystal that was keeping the water out and making the air possible in this giant city that had a lot of air breathing creatures that didn't exist in the plane of water, but were visiting there for trade or whatever, extraplanar stuff. And you destroyed the crystal and flooded the only pockets of air in the city, in the entirety of the plane of water. So that was fun. That was, so it was sort of like, did they just destroy the entire state of this plane?
We just may have. And then
it was definitely it was like a corrupt, government, like this guy, Sultan dude, this married genie, which is a water genie. And oh man. So he was bad, but what about the cabbage, the guy who's selling seaweed cabbage in the marketplace in the air? He's
What
probably
about him?
dead.
He's probably dead. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. So I sort of came up with this idea that there are like emergency. So you had these like little pearls that you could swallow and you could breathe air. They were like little tiny scroll items.
Yeah.
Little items of water breathing. You know, that you could just. And I sort of imagined that there were like emergency ones everywhere.
Like gillyweed.
Yeah, like you swallow it and you can breathe air. So in my head movies, that's how we saved all the people in that city, because they heard, the water come crashing in through the magic crystal field. And they were like, oh crap. Well, and they were okay. They were able to swim and breathe water
and repair whatever it is that we damaged. Hopefully,
yeah. And then they probably set up a nice bicameral legislature, and instead of being ruled by this evil water genie, Christopher's swimming. Ow, you guys, maybe you should die now or something. It was he was hilarious. One of my favorite NPCs I've ever come up with.
I think the first time we talked to him, we just asked him questions for no reason.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of exposition, because you guys were like, how did you come into power? How did you what do you?
So we just had Ben talk like Christopher Walken for.
It was pretty funny. Yeah,
it was great.
And then we did an adventure into the Feywild. And surprisingly, we'll get off of the home game in a minute, but the last story about the home game is we did this Feywild adventure. I don't know if you were.
Was that the Disneyland one?
Yeah.
I had to miss that one for one reason or another. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because I remember Max texted me. He was like, "Oh, Tony, you would have loved it." I'm like, "Dang it, I missed it."
It was pretty funny.
But yes, describe it, because it was a great idea.
Well, it's actually, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but it was essentially, you guys had to go find this bow at the time, and so you had to go to the Feywild. And you ended up in this place that was Disney World, but wasn't Disney World.
Right.
It was essentially Disney World. And it was run by this crazy fey creature named MM that nobody knew who it was.
Nobody knows.
And that's actually, I'm running that one shot, that adventure.
Right. Yep.
At LaireCon. So if you're going to LaireCon, you're being in Pensacola, Florida, and you want to sign up for a premium game with one of us from PeakD&D, I'm running a level 8 campaign. So this was like, you guys were like level 19 at this point, but so I
dumbed it down.
I made it a little easier. But it's sort of a fun recall and inclusion of our home game that I'm going to run at LaireCon,
which is pretty awesome
for everybody, which I'm super excited about. Nick's running a game too. He's doing, it's a 3.5 adventure that was I think was adapted from an AD&D module, and then hasn't been updated to 5th edition, but he has updated it.
Nice.
So you can run that game. I think it's a 3rd level adventure, but man, that's the one. If I play in one, I'm going to play in that one. But,
no, I need to figure out how to sign up, because I should play in both yours.
Yeah, I'm not sure when. So you're only allowed one premium game per thing, unless there's openings right before, and I think you can get in more. But so you'll have to pick who you like more.
That's true. Well, Nick,
you didn't get
me a lot, so maybe
you didn't get to play in the original.
I'd probably pick you, because then I'd get to play in Disney World.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But that'd be that sounds that sounds great.
Yeah.
Maybe next year I might do a game, but I wasn't feeling up to it this year still.
That's fine. And if you're coming to LaireCon, I'm also doing, I think it's the first night, I think it's Friday night maybe, I'm doing a mini painting tutorial.
Oh, sweet.
So if you sign up for that one, there's a limited spots, and I think anyone can sign up for that. So if you wanted to do it, you could. I think there's 10 spots or 12 spots.
I actually
it's really fun, and everyone gets to paint a mini with me for 2 hours, and you'll leave with a nice painted mini and a little box of paints. It's very exciting.
Awesome. That's cool. That'll be really cool. No, I mean, that's definitely one thing we could certainly get into, pending your time and effort, for sure, because I know it's strained, but to be the PeakD&D mini painting, like, this huge hobbyist, so it's one one of the things that I haven't really we haven't had time to launch, but I've always had an idea about doing. I'd like to do a little hobby corner type video every now and then,
because I've certainly, I mean, doing as much D&D as we've done for the channel and that we've done as individuals, I've picked up a few, things, tips and tricks, and it's fun. I love minis. Oh my god, I love playing with miniatures.
It's great.
It just goes back to my childhood. I like playing with toys, man.
Yep. It's just toys for adults, man.
Yeah, just play pretend.
Now, I'm excited too because of all the stuff that I've learned, and hopefully take into the second campaign and make the production, the back end production, a little bit better from all the things that I've learned. So
yeah, man,
it's certainly, I've gotten quicker at it, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Which is good.
We're just gonna, I think we'll, moving into campaign 2 is, I think, will be sort of we'll add some new things. I think you'll see some obviously the overlays and stuff will change. Hopefully our camera, our sets and things for the minis are going to be a little more involved. I mean, we're not Critical Role. We're not trying to be, but
we have a pretty good set for episode 1, not session 0, but episode 1.
Yeah. We didn't end up setup. We didn't play anything on session 0. We were
character
all
development. You get to know
character creation,
who 3 of us are.
And no spoilers, but
I'm looking forward to them. They're good. It's gonna be.
I'm excited. It's going to be a very different set of characters that we're playing, and it's in the same world. It's near where it picks up a little bit after where
it's all connected.
Yeah, it's all connected, so it picks up a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing
some callbacks.
Yeah. Well, and Tony, before I do want to also talk about a little bit about CF month, awareness month.
Oh yeah,
which is going on right now, right?
Yeah. CF awareness month is May technically, but in 2020 they came up with a virtual fundraiser so Cystic Fibrosis Foundation came up with a virtual fundraiser in 2020 for obvious reasons called Rose Up, and we did a 5-hour video last year, and we're trying to figure out a way to do another something that's a little less
time intensive.
Yeah, so
for both us and for our viewers, because nobody wants to sit through a 5-hour adventure.
It was cool and a lot of fun, and if you watched all 5 hours, it's great and the payoff is wonderful, but it's 5 hours.
It is amazing. Yeah. You can sort of skip rounds, I don't know, 20 we played. So our concept was, 65 is sort of a like fancy special number, and I didn't realize why until much later. But that
was hilarious.
I literally blew my mind when I figured it out.
I just now got that.
I just this moment got that. Yeah. So we were trying we were trying to include 65 as like the number of something, and we were like, okay, what do we do? Let's go 65 rounds. Let's like 65 rounds of combat,
which those playing the home game, 65 rounds is a lot. That's 6.5 minutes of combat in game, which is a long time.
Yeah,
for combat to go that long.
That's insane. And Nick threw something at us like pretty much every other round. So we had like 30 plus like rounds of combat. Or
I have that written somewhere. I have all the team names written somewhere. Of course, we could go back. I think he had watch it, but
yeah, we'll put them in.
Wrote them all down at some point.
We should time code the intros of the teams and just in the comments. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll go back and do that at some point. But I mean, it was really fun. We did 65 rounds of combat. It was 5 hours of play. We were level 10. We weren't even that high level. Level 10 is pretty high, but it was super fun. And I would love to revisit those characters or do something like that again.
Yeah. My thought was kill 65 enemies, which would be a lot easier than 65 rounds. Because he could throw us 12 goblins and there's a fifth of it right there. You know what I mean? So that was my thought, is we roll through a dungeon with an end game, but there's 65 things to kill.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, I had the idea we play as our Into the Fae and Beyond the Feywild characters. That was my pitch. I was like, let's level them up, get to I don't know, pick a level, 15, 20, I don't know.
12? I don't know. 12 could be
12 is always a good level. You get an extra feat. So I mean, it'd be kind of fun to level them up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then do, I don't know, just like a throw 65 dudes at us and see how long it takes for us to die. Yeah, I don't know. Like
just 4v65, just one combat, but it's like here's 65 things. Let's do it. That could be interesting because like
just a free for all that would take forever.
But it wouldn't take as long as 65 rounds. I don't think, because to me, like all the 65 would be different. Because like Gord, I mean, if he's level 12, it's possible with his feats that he would be able to he'd be able to attack 3 times each round, I think, and maybe a 4th if I kill something. So I could just maul like 2 to 4 things each round. Lower level stuff, obviously. So it's possible that could kind of be cool. Just 65 free for all. We're in the middle and the 65 people just come converge and we just back to back and let's do this. That could be interesting.
Just like a
gladiator, essentially. Like 3 of us are just in a gladiator sort of ring.
Yeah, that might be fun. I don't know.
That could be something.
Well, I was like, I was also thinking that I could run it. I could DM it.
Oh, yeah.
And then Nick could play as Grognak.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be kind of fun. Take the spells, the warlock out of the equation.
Yeah.
Replace him with a monk.
Monk has a lot of attacks, especially probably at level 12, and Gord having a lot of attacks. Like, I don't know. We could do some damage. There's some damage to be done, and then sneak attack rogue, man. Like,
yeah. I think the benefit of us would be that the benefit would be if y'all stuck together. There's just less attacks that could happen, but that would kill Illinsworth. Like he wouldn't be able to hide. He has to hide.
Yeah, that's true.
And sneak attack, but
if you level him up to 12, he might be able to get something like invisibility or something of that nature.
Yeah,
that could help him.
So CF Awareness Month is May.
Technically, it's May, but
the Rose Up
September
challenge
is the whole Rose Up. Yeah. So any fundraising that any CF patient or team wants to do can virtually do it and do whatever they want. Like some people do 65 holes of golf or 65 minutes playing Halo or something like that. I don't know, but you're able to just do whatever you want. Whereas usually in when I was a kid, the walkathon or a marathon was the only kind of thing that they had. Mm-hmm. But now it's opening up to whatever you want to do to raise money. Then put it on your page and tell the people about what you're trying to do, and then that's how you can get your people to raise money and send the link and do all the stuff. And honestly, the coolest thing I thought from last Rose Up is we had 2 people. I don't know if they watched all of it, but watched some of it at least, and donated. 2 people we didn't know.
Yeah,
which it was super awesome.
Totally cool.
That was
super
cool.
That's super awesome.
So,
and then Luke did a fundraiser. I think the month after was for his live streams. Yeah, he always benefits a charity too. So he chose the CF Foundation.
I always thought it was funny. I think he said it wrong every single time, and
he could never say cystic fibrosis.
He mentioned that he would say it wrong every single time.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah,
but it was great. It was awesome that he took it up because right after that we went to LayerCon. So he asked about it and he wanted to do that after LayerCon, which is sweet. So
yeah, it was super cool.
So I think we're going to do something, and I think that's going to be filmed on the 12th, but we're not quite sure what it looks like yet.
Yeah, I can do a little more. Hopefully I will have some time this week to do a little more legwork on that and I'll talk to Nick and see if he wants to do it or if he wants me to do it. Yeah. I still think you should end up running something at some point, but maybe not this year, maybe next year. But again, our good buddy Max, always the planner, always the group mom. He in a good way. Mom. He keeps us organized, and bless him for it. He does his best, and we kick and scream the whole time. And but I think kudos to him. He was like, okay, if we're gonna do this, we got to do it now. We got to get this shit together. Together.
And we still don't have a plan.
We do. I think we have the beginnings of a plan. I think it would be better to do a dungeon crawl, maybe.
Wait till you hear plan B.
Wait till you hear plan B. I think my thought would be to do that. Maybe it's more like a dungeon.
That's kind of what I thought. And I don't know, maybe
because then it's not like
the other thing is it could be
65 dudes
65
all
minutes.
at once.
We could try to get through it in an hour. We got a whole hour.
Maybe that's a way to do it. Maybe there's like a real life timer.
Time clock.
Yeah, like 65 minutes. That's an hour and 5. That's not bad.
Which honestly, I mean, with 3 players, we've noticed playing with 3 players, we get stuff done. Like some of our episodes, so much happens in the manner of an hour. So it could be that we get through a lot of a dungeon or a whole dungeon in an hour, just because when you have a timestamp, you're going like a literal timestamp, you're going to have to make it happen.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be a thing. Maybe there's a
that'd be kind of fun, like a countdown
that we try to get to, or maybe it's just how far do we get, and can we do the save? Can we save the princess in the amount of time kind of scenario?
Yeah,
that could be interesting. An actual countdown.
Yeah, I think we got to get something. We got to, a bomb's gonna blow up, or essentially, figuratively like speaking. You've got a timestamp before the apotheosis of, I don't know, Vecna comes back or something. Okay, great. We had to close the portal in 65 minutes, and there's a bunch of stuff in the way. Can we do it? That'd be kind of fun.
And it could kind of be Gladiator-esque in the sense of maybe it is kind of one-ish combat that things just keep coming up, or a very confined space of like you have to go to this room to do this and this room to do this, but like the main thing is in like another room kind of. So it's like very, very confined space where we might have to travel or move a little bit beyond just like a movement action.
Yeah.
But it's not like an entire dungeon crawl where we have to go through like levels upon levels. So that could be an interesting thing too. We'll have to shoot that out to Nick if he thinks he could design something that could be done and he knows us very well, or you, and the way we play and how quick we play. So
for sure,
designing that around your players helps a lot when you know them.
Yeah. John Strain says he found us through watching Luke's videos. So
awesome. I wonder which sketches. I wonder, did you watch?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or maybe he just linked us or something like that.
Luke has been so good to us. We are, he's taken us under his wing, and he is the consummate GM. He is an amazing game master. We played a game with him last year at LaireCon. I don't think we're going to get to play with him. He has so many games he's running.
Yeah.
We're not going to get to play with him this year, I don't think.
No, I remember we were supposed to play with what's his name? Why can't I think
Ed? Oh yeah, Ed maybe would run a game for us.
I remember that had always been a thing for like the last few months, but
I think it would end up being an after hours thing. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
I don't know if it's like a slot. Gotcha. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I mean, well, thanks for again, John, checking us out. We appreciate it. We're level 3, almost level 3, level 2 YouTubers.
So close.
And Luke is, he's like a level 15, 16 YouTuber.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's jump in experience points, because we're going by the experience of 5th edition in subscribers.
Yeah, our subscribers are XP, so that's how we gauge it. I think that's there's only a few like epic level
3 to
YouTubers
4
out there.
is huge jump, right?
What a big jump! Oh my god, we're gonna be level 3 forever. It's 900 to 2700. That's a big jump.
It's a huge jump, but that's kind of what we said about 2. It triples every time from 1 to 4. So
yeah,
we have been here for a while, but part of me is like this summer and collaborating with Luke has kind of jumped us up that level. So maybe something else comes up this next year that jumps up, that gives us that boost to 2700. So
yeah. One day Ginny D will do something with us, and that'll be super cool.
It will be.
She's in Denver. You live in the same town as her.
Oh, well, maybe I should.
I mean, Denver's gigantic, of course, but
it's not that big.
She's based in Denver. I saw her at Denver Comic-Con.
Oh, nice.
And I told her that we were starting a YouTube channel. This is,
I guess I did. Yeah,
this is before the pandemic.
Did not realize that she was in Denver.
I think she might be the biggest one now. She has like 400,000 subscribers.
Sorry, what's her name? Who is it again?
Ginny D. She has the like turquoise hair. Ginny D.
Oh, like Ginny Weasley.
Ginny.
Yeah.
D and then DI.
Really? She lives in Denver?
Yeah, she's based in Colorado, in Denver.
I should just hit her up and be like, "Hey, you want to go for a drink sometime?" We live like right next door. Watch, she lives like in my in our.
What? She's literally in your neighborhood. That'd be hilarious.
That would
Ginny D, hit
funny.
us up. PeakD&D, Ginny D.
How did you?
Just saying.
Location United States. Now I'm curious. I want to go down the wormhole if I can.
I love Jenny D. Her videos are so funny. She started out as a cosplayer and then moved into like D&D. But she does like music videos and stuff too. So maybe she'll show up in our video collab. We're doing a music video at some point.
Cool. I know we've had it written for so long. We just haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it one day.
I'm super curious now. Would she have a Wikipedia?
She has a website. I think it's jennyd.com. GINNYDI.
You are correct, good sir.
Yeah. Anyway, Jenny D is awesome. And you should check her out too. I mean, again, like if you're subscribed to us and not to Jenny D, I would be so surprised. Unless you chose to do that. Like unless you're like, no, that's not my thing. Which, not every YouTube channel is for everybody. Even if you are like a super D&D nerd and you're super like constant, you only subscribe to D&D channels. That's who I want to meet. I want to meet the person who is subscribed to PeakD&D, but not Jenny D, and has never heard of Jenny D, but is subscribed to us. Apparently, there's 400,000 people to choose from. So good for her.
It would be better, or it's better odds that. I don't know what I was about to say.
I don't either, but I liked it. You know what?
Totally lost my train of thought.
I did like, because you're obsessed with Jenny D now.
Apparently. Do you have I want to see what's. I just was seeing like what suburb she lives in.
I don't know. I think Centennial or something. But
well, then she would be super close. Because I'm like on the border of Aurora.
Okay, this is when this is the video that they will look back to and be like, remember when Tony started stalking that girl?
I'm literally doing it right now. I can put it up on the screen too if you want.
Don't. Tony, don't you fall in love with me. Don't you fall in love with me. Don't do it.
I can't kill my best friend.
I can't kill my best friend. Look at him. He has the eyes of a child.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoop, 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 whoop. That's a Frisky Dingo reference as well, which is so the creators of Archer is last Frisky Dingo plug, I promise.
Never the last. It's
never the last.
It will never be.
If you like Archer, go back. If you have HBO, HBO Now or whatever it's called now, I think it's HBO Now. You can check it out. It's like 2 seasons. They're like 7-minute episodes. They're super short. But it was made by the same team that ended up making Archer.
7 to 11 minutes. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It goes so fast. We watched all 2 seasons on our way to LayerCon.
Yeah. And we probably will again. I will have them on my laptop on the plane. We're flying this year. Last year we drove.
But still, even that flight it was like 2.5 hours, I think, total.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta finalize all of our travel stuff. I gotta upgrade our seats, get us checked bags. Everyone has a checked bag, but thanks, Frontier.
Thanks, Frontier.
But sponsor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, there's a whole bunch of like Denver-based YouTubers that I have looked into.
That's insane.
Not really in our niche, but like not like there's not too many D&D channels. There's one guy who lives in Steamboat Springs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're connected with him a little bit.
The Alpine DM, that's who he is.
Yep, the Alpine DM. Good. That is true.
Anybody can teach you something, and learning is good to give a listen to. Yes. Anybody that can teach you something. Oh, okay. Yes, John, wise words. Indeed. Always listen.
Indeed, good sir.
Yes.
Well, that is my new Denver quest.
Our best friends. We're doing a collab with Jenny D. That would
I'm in the music scene now down here pretty heavily this last month.
Yeah.
Now I need to get more in the nerds. I'm in like the Magic the Gathering nerd scene, but I'm not in the cosplay D&D
I think she plays, but I don't know. Like I don't know what her deal is, man. But she's an awesome YouTuber. I mean, she's super cool. I like her videos. Her shorts are great too. Well, I think I got to figure out where Steely Sam's from.
Ooh.
The guy from he has all kinds of stuff. He's cool too. But anyway, we're just trying to
on time ish 3:30, about an hour.
Is it?
I am curious though, because I was looking earlier through it because I thought we could talk about this a little bit too, but I would be curious what you would say, because I'm honestly not sure what I would be. What would you peg me as a puppy around the table?
What kind of player are you?
What kind of player would I be, according to your D&D ideas puppy scenario? Because I don't know. I read a few. I was like, I don't really know which ones I am anymore.
You tapped into your thespian side a little bit. With Gord, I would say.
Certainly.
You very much embodied that character when you played him.
Yeah.
And I will
super continue
loved.
To my next character, I'm pretty sure. So yes.
It does. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with this next one too. But I would say you have a very tactician mind, I think.
Yeah, I thought I was trickster, but I think it's more tactician. I think you're right.
I think because your placement seems to be very important to you when we play.
This is true.
I'm thinking of the home game that I've run
for sure.
For you, because that you were very area of effect aware and trying to get to optimal positioning and things like that, but also using things to interact with. I think there is a little bit of trickster as well, and again, we're all sort of
everything. I was curious what my dominant was, and maybe it is tactician, because I am more combat based.
I would think,
a player in general, but I did tap into thespian side for sure with Gord.
You've expanded your horizons is all. You've
for sure.
And that's great.
But I think, though, especially in D&D or in Into the Fae and our stuff, PeakD&D, as well as just home tables, I do try to progress the story pretty heavy too. I do try to be okay, we've stayed here way too long. What's next? We have a quest. Let's do this. So it's a little golden retriever in there as well.
A Boy Scout.
Not so much do the right thing and get all it's more of the progress the story plot point, because I do like progress, especially in some of those bigger groups that we've played in before. I'm just all right, let's keep a move in here.
keep it moving. Let's go. Yeah.
So, all right,
pretty
cool.
wet.
Cool. I can do all that. That makes sense.
I think that I would put you solidly in tactician. Area, especially I will say from our Pirates game. When you were running, there's a lot. I mean, because you had a lot of stuff, but that game to me felt very tactical.
Oh, it's very. It was hard. It's hard to play. Yeah. It was hard as a DM, to be honest. There's so much.
But I mean, it was a lot about efficiency and controlling the map and ranges of your cannons with the ship combat, especially was very much like that.
It was robust, maybe too robust, but yeah. That's fair.
I still think we should put out something about that at some point. Maybe we will, but
maybe we will.
Cool.
We'll see. Or maybe that's something I run for a one shot. I'll run some pirate stuff or something like that on the channel.
That'd be fun. You could do that at LairCon sometime.
I could, and I've thought about it the last 2 years. I just haven't been quite in the right mindset the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, I get it. But it's a cool game.
It's in the back of my mind.
Yeah, so Tony has come up with a pirate themed D&D-esque rule set. Yeah, that's really kind of fun. The ship-to-ship combat is super awesome. The abilities that you get as a member of a crew are very fun. Yeah. There's a bunch of different mechanics that you borrowed from a lot of different
stuff,
versions of the game and stuff. But it was I had a blast. It was super fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So what else do we have coming up on PeakD&D channel? We've talked about our home game. We've talked about projects that have nothing to do with the channel.
We have the finale for Beyond the Fae split into 2 episodes.
It's sort of a 2-part finale because it definitely we're through the door, we're in the tower.
Yep.
We are about to.
But there is I just edited it. There's the good cliffhanger at the end of the penultimate, leading into the finale.
My God, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah. So look forward to that. Our next episode comes out in a week and a half.
No, it comes out a week.
2 weeks?
1 week.
Oh, in a week. Right. Yeah.
Next Saturday,
not this week. It's next
and then
week.
The 24th will be the finale. So look out for
that.
And it all wraps up, and hopefully they save the world.
Heck yeah, man. Well, thanks for I hope we do too. We'll have to just see. You'll have to sit and watch. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today on our live stream. We are PeakD&D. If you aren't already, like and subscribe, share this channel with your friends, if you or your D&D group. If you want we have everything from player and DM advice to a gameplay is sort of our mainstay at this point. We have been playing through a couple of different modules, one that Nick wrote, Beyond the Feywild, and one that that Luke Hart, our friend from the DM Lair, if you don't know his channel, you should check that out too. Into the Fey was our first module that we ran.
Great module.
Yeah, it was still in playtest at the time before the final Kickstarter came in, but you can get a copy of Into the Fey if you want one.
Yep.
And then in a couple of weeks we're going to have campaign 2 premiering in October for PeakD&D. So we'll have a whole new set of characters, a whole new set of games and encounters and campaign that you can watch at home, along with our PeakD&D ideas and maybe some new stuff. Maybe we're working on already got some stuff on the back burner that we're gonna start boiling up here
level 3 video together here, which we'll do. And then Rose Up, look for Rose Up, the 22nd. So I don't know if it's going to come out that day, but somewhere in and around the end of September, we'll have the Rose Up for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, whatever that ends up being. So yeah,
we'll have a couple of one-offs every now and then. But yeah, stay tuned to the channel. We'll see you next time. See you at the peak, my friends.
Peace.
Be good.